Have you ever wondered if God is speaking to you? It reminds me of a portion in the book of Samuel where Samuel was a little boy, and this little boy was in a very evil environment. Yeah, he was in religion. He was in the tabernacle there, and it says that Eli was very wicked, and his sons were very wicked. And interesting enough, the Lord came and spoke to him. And so interesting, we can pull that up in 1 Samuel 3, but I wanted to read one verse here inside of 3 minutes here, where the Lord came to Samuel in the night, and Samuel didn't know the word of the Lord. He didn't know his voice at this time, okay? And he kept saying, Samuel, Samuel, and he didn't know. He says, here I am. And Eli says, well, when the next time he talks to him, this was going to be on the third time, say, speak, Lord, for your servant hears. It's interesting. The evil is abounding us all around. And sometimes God is still speaking. Well, he's still speaking. It's not sometimes. And he's still speaking. The question is, do we know what he's saying and who he is? So I want to look at this verse here in 1 Samuel 3. And it says in verse 10, and the Lord came and stood and called at other times, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel answered, speak, for your servant hears. And the Lord said to Samuel, behold, I will do something in Israel at which both ears of everyone who hears it will tingle. Interesting enough, when we have to find ourselves in our lowest place in bed, particularly this is Samuel, at night, it's interesting the Lord comes and speaks directly to the little boy. And he wasn't going to talk to Eli. God himself was not going to talk to Eli. Eli was wicked, his house was wicked, but Samuel had a tender heart. And by having that tender heart, he was able to, first of all, listen, and he didn't know who it was. Read earlier in 1 Samuel, he didn't know who it was. But then on the third time, he says, speak, for your servant hears. And sometimes we have to shut up in order to hear the voice of God and be quiet. And so with that, Common Thoughts of Christ inside of 3 minutes. Look forward to speaking and hearing more of the Lord as we go along. It's a beautiful voice to hear when we hear it.